Hello, my name is Shannan Harris. Welcome to Window on Wilmington. On today's show, we'll have information on World's AIDS Day. We'll also hear from the Governor's Commission on Community and Volunteer Service. We'll have an update from Wilmington Job Corps, and we'll talk about the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League's 5th Annual Men of Color Conference Wellness Empowerment Summit. And Tina Betts will tell us what's happening around town. But first, for 32 years, Norman Oliver, through Our Youth Inc. and Nor Enterprises, has fed thousands of families and seniors for the Thanksgiving holiday. This year, Norman is teaming up with the Jefferson Awards Foundation and a host of other organizations for a statewide turkey drive. Norman Oliver and Michele Fidance are here now to tell us all about this great joint venture. And why are you looking over there, Norman?
Because that's pretty cool. I mean, you like really getting high tech since last time I've been here.
Well, I probably messed up a little bit on the first thing.
No, I was like looking at your studio.
You did.
Are you proud of yourself?
Really? Yeah. It's a little country. I'm kind of.
I know, like country and western. I think
really?
You're like a hip hop girl.
I am. That's what.
Let me see you do the wobble.
Okay, really? Let's see you do it.
He said I look like.
What is that?
That's why I don't come on air with her.
I'm glad you both could be here, and I'm glad you brought Michele with you to talk to us about this statewide turkey drive, which is the first time, right?
Yeah. Michele and I, we've been working the last 4 years, 3-4 years, and we had a conversation because we've been doing it in the city, in Newcastle County for the last 30-something years, and we said it would be pretty cool to do it statewide. So we hooked up with the Boys and Girls Clubs and a lot of elected officials downstate, Seaford, Georgetown, Dover, Smyrna, Milford.
Wow.
Greater Newark.
Yeah. So you're all around.
We're going to be all over. First year starting at probably 6:30 in the morning.
Well, we're going to leave here with turkeys 6:30 in the morning and head it to Seaford.
Wow. Now, listen, Michele, for people who don't know, now you're from the Jefferson Awards Foundation. So for folks who might not know what the Jefferson Awards Foundation is, what is that?
So we've been around about 42 years. We're a national nonprofit. We've recognized folks around the country for their public and community service, both nationally and locally. Over the past probably 8-10 years, we've continued to do our recognition, but we're really focusing on activating and increasing volunteerism and getting more youth involved. So here in Delaware, I run a lot of the Jefferson Awards programming and met Norman's son. He was a Jefferson Awards Students in Action student leader at Charter School of Wilmington. And Norman Jr. got me involved in the turkey drive, and then he graduated and I stayed with Papa.
Wow, that is interesting.
Papa, I like that. I like that. It got me blushing on air. They call me Big Papa.
Okay, Norman, calm down. Where's this going to go? So, now the turkey drive. So this was something different for you.
I've never really run service projects. I've always supported the students that I've worked with in the projects they've done. So when Norman Jr. came to me and said, our Students in Action team wants to help my dad's turkey drive, he said, but we also want to get all the other Jefferson Award schools in the state to help us. So over the past 4 years, after his son graduated, each of the charter Jefferson teams have continued to get other schools involved. So now we've got AI DuPont Jefferson Awards team, we have William Penn, we have...
Who you told me did a great wobble, right?
Oh, yes, William Penn. So we had a meeting with all the kids and asked them, what do you think everybody would want to see in a video about the turkey drive? And they did one around the wobble. They called it the turkey gobble.
And what's funny? Just think of the impact we have so many students involved. We have Del State involved, University of Delaware. Mm-hmm. We have the Deltas involved and alumni, Kappas involved, the Brothers of the Kappa side. We have a lot of folks, and I think that in itself is going to bring so many people together. Just think of the impact. We worked together on this for a long time, and you guys have been so helpful. And we've probably fed like 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 one year, just here in Newcastle County, in each high rise. And we're still going to do every high rise.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But besides every high rise, we're going to do like 6 or 7 sites, the Boys and Girls Club downstate. And it's kind of like the model that we have with the Classic. And I think I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of politicians downstate that are going to join us. I think, Shannan, it's going to be exciting. And we really would like the community to embrace it. We want folks who are watching to donate a turkey or whatever at 1213 B Street. The number is 302-655-8250. And again, it's tax deductible. Got to tell you that.
Right. Now we have a video, and it explains some of the thinking behind a turkey
Do
drive.
you have Paul when he was falling over a turkey? Actually,
Paul Kennard?
Yeah. He pulled a hamstring last year. how do you pull a hamstring carrying the? How do you pull a hamstring carrying the camera?
Did you?
I was working, and he was not.
He was.
And you know, and let's get the Farnan family a big shout out, and JJ Farnan, because we always start. I mean, these guys always start us out with a huge donation.
Well, let's take a look at the video, and then we're going to
And
come back and
ShopRite.
talk a little bit more. It's ShopRite, right? Okay.
Before this country was even a nation, we were getting together as family, as community, and sharing with each other and just celebrating, giving thanks for all the blessings that we have.
Thanksgiving means to me, it means love and memories and gathering around the family at my grandmother's house, sharing recipes, getting to know each other, catching up on the latest gossip in the family.
Thanksgiving to me is the one time a year when we get to come together over feast and family and just reflect on gratitude, abundance, and to show appreciation for our blessings.
We try to volunteer through different places, like going to the soup kitchens or other places.
I volunteer a lot. I help out in the community. Thanksgiving drives. I ring the bell for Salvation Army. Bellefonte Methodist Church, I help out. Winter drives, coat drives. I give out a lot in the community.
That's what Thanksgiving is all about. It's a rich, full tradition that has gone for generations and generations, and I see it as something that will continue to last for thousands, millions of years.
From the Nesbitt Cohen family to yours, we wish you love, peace, blessings. Namaste.
From the Grant family to yours, happy Thanksgiving.
From my family to yours, happy Turkey Day. Except if you're vegan, then enjoy the tofu.
For my family, I like to say, happy Thanksgiving.
Yo, what's up? From my family to your family, this is Big I. And from Madison, my little girl right here, happy Turkey Day. We love y'all. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace.
I love it. That was a great video. And Michelle, we were talking, since you've gotten involved with this, what has this meant to you personally?
Well, actually, I think the seniors has been a population that has been kind of ignored in the past. And when Norman told me about the turkey drive, I just saw the faces on them when we came in with the turkeys. And then especially when we brought the students in, that it really meant a lot to them to hear from the students, to see them, to see that they're giving back, and to see that they appreciate them. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of touched my heart over the years to want to continue with Norman on it. Right. And for what the students have told me it means to them, they said, we like raising money for organizations, but the real key for us is to go and actually see where what we're doing is impacted.
Right.
And so for them, seeing the faces of those people has meant the world to them.
Oh, that's really good. Before we go, we got a couple of minutes, probably.
Can I give my man Ivan a shout out?
You can always give Ivan a shout out.
In the Blue Group Media Film Group, I butcher his name up all the time.
Well, that's okay.
But he's been doing an excellent job. The Blue Film Media Group, right? There you go.
Okay, but now...
And Stormino.net. He started Stormino.net.
He is?
STORMINO.net.
Really? He's going to play... really? Before we go, if somebody's donating turkey, where do they need to donate to? And do you want to say who are some of the other people that you partner with really quick?
You say who we partner with, but they could come to 1213 B Street.
When's the
Monday
deadline?
the 24th.
Okay.
Or the 25th.
Okay.
We like them early in the morning,
okay.
Because we're going to be on the road, but they can leave them at the office, whatever.
Okay.
And that number is 302-655-8250. And seniors, we would like to start getting your forms back. And don't call if you're asking, call if you're donating, because we're not giving to the asking. Because where we got lists, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like in past years, we have like a welfare line out there, right? Like 3,000 people out there. We're doing it differently. I mean, can you say that on TV?
You already said it. Go ahead, Michelle.
Kind of like the Emmy Awards. Please forgive me if I forgot your name.
Right.
But our partners over this year have been the Farnan Law Practice, United Distributors, ShopRite,
Leroy Tice, Kappas and Deltas,
Innovative Schools,
you guys,
Buccini Pollen, the Jefferson Awards Foundation, Charter School of Wilmington. I'm sorry, Mom, if I forgot you.
Yeah, right.
Red Clay and Christina School Districts.
Red Clay School District had a district-wide dress down day Friday, and all the money raised from that's going to the turkey drive.
And Charlotte Barnes have done an excellent job.
Shout out to Charlotte.
Yeah, even her church.
All her endeavors and getting a lot of people
and
involved.
And her church donated.
Wow.
Like unlike some of the other churches who were calling, asking, they donated.
All right, you know what, Norman? And on that note, we got to go.
Said, let me borrow $5 before I go to pay.
No, I don't have it.
Thank you, Shannon, for having
us.
Thank you so much.
Is that market there?
No.
Let me see.
Water. You
stop laughing over there. Shannon's on the air drinking.
Don't believe him.
I'm joking.
Yeah, right. It's water. But thank you both for joining us, Michelle. I hope to see you again, and maybe you come back and talk to us about the Jefferson Awards. Love to hear about it.
Okay, happy to.
All right.
Let you do the wobble.
No, we'll be right back with the
Wilmington
Metropolitan.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Today, school kids rely on the internet for so many things: homework, math, research. But what about kids who don't have internet at home? Hello, I'm Theo Gregory, Wilmington City Council President. The internet is essential. As many as 80% of low-income families do not have access at home, including many right here in Wilmington. So help bridge this gap by supporting local broadband adoption programs. Let's get more students and families connected to the power of the internet.
There's a silent health crisis in America. It's a fact that on average, American men live sicker and die much younger than American women. The statistics for African-American and Latino males are much worse. The Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League is getting ready for their 5th annual Men of Color Health Wellness Empowerment Summit that looks to address these issues. Deborah Wilson and Forrest Watson join me now to talk all about this year's event. And let me tell you, I saw photos from last year's event. It was very well attended, which is a great thing.
It was well attended, but we always look around the room and say there need to be more men here to hear the message. So it's a wonderful event. It's a lot of fun. It's very informative, but we want to make sure that every man, if you're a man of color or if you're not a man of color, if you come out and get this information, it may change your life or save your life.
So I guess we need to ask the man that's on the set, why don't men go to the doctors? I mean, you know, it's like, if you're sick, go to the doctors.
That's a loaded question, but let me say this. It boils down to two principal things. Number one, the cultural aspect of how men are raised, that they're gladiators in some ways. And secondly, there's a fear of the unknown. This is why what we really need is our women, whether that's our mothers, our daughters, our wives, our girlfriends, to encourage us to go to the healthcare system from some services. But the reality is, once we get men together and there are no women there, there's an ease of exposure that happens. And so that's important. And so what the health center or what the event seeks to do is to just encourage that and to bring a level of information and awareness so that men can begin to change and change some behavior and lifestyles to help the community. And so that's.
I mean, it's great.
Yes. We've worked very hard, as far as we're saying, to create that atmosphere. It is men only. We quite often hear from the ladies, you know, you're neglecting us. No, but this needed to be a focus for the men. And as he said, what we found is they go into the sessions. We have to break them up to keep them on schedule.
Right.
It's interesting because we always have a session on mental health and dealing with stressors. Dr. Alvin Turner's been wonderful in working with us for the past several years, and he will be there this year. And that is the one session that people were saying, you know, men of color, especially men in general, but men of color are not going to talk about mental health issues or stress or whatever.
Right.
That's the one we literally have to break up and move them on.
Because we're going to say folks of color typically don't want to talk about mental health issues. If you say maybe you need to go get some counseling, they say, I don't need no counseling.
Absolutely.
Yes, you do. Trust me, I know.
Need a little help.
Yeah. We don't like to hear that. But so that's interesting, and it's good to know that you can bring them all there and then have this good dialogue going between the men and the presenters at the fair.
Absolutely. It's a full day conference. We start at 8:30 and we go until 3. There is an opportunity for men to participate in free health screenings, a variety of health screenings. We have exhibitors there, health-related exhibitors, and then the workshops and the plenary sessions. So there's really something for everyone. We also have a special track just for the young men. So if you have a son,
well, I'm glad you said that, Deborah, because I was looking through the pictures and I was like, wow, there's like kids here, like young guys, which I thought was great, and they were like doing a race.
We did 2 things with them last year, and we're going to continue that work this year. One was a fitness challenge. They closed their day with the fitness challenge. We gave incentives out, and they have a great time. But the other thing is we had a session, and this is connected with the mental health piece, on dealing with violence. And living in the city and dealing with violence and that psychology of violence. And Brother Nnamdi Shakwosha facilitated that. He's going to be with us again. And Dr. Alvin Turner, who's a psychologist specializing in dealing with children, helped to facilitate that. So they have a full session, and the adult men have a full session. And plus there are prizes and incentives. It's free. We serve breakfast. We serve lunch, all healthy, of course. And it's just a great day for men to come out and be pampered a little bit.
And be pampered. Let's talk about this keynote speaker now, because he is really, he's an excellent keynote speaker and a very impressive background.
We were so delighted to get him, Dr. Charles Maudlin. He is one of 17 African-American transplant surgeons in existence in the country.
Yeah, right.
And his specialty is, he's a urologist, and he also is the founder of the Cleveland Clinic's initiative on minority men's health. So he will share some great information with us. We're very happy to have him come. So it's going to be really nice. And also let me say this, I mentioned we want men to come and be pampered. One thing we've done every year is we have a barbershop. So
we did see that, and I'm gonna tell you something. I thought it was really great to see the men getting
groomed.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice. I mean, you had an old school barber, some new school barbers. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really great. Forrest, before we go, what do you want men to know about this conference, and why should they come out?
Well, there's a scripture that says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." And what we want our men to know is that the lack of knowledge can kill them. And to be exposed with information and knowledge is not a death sentence, it is a sentence to live.
Right.
So what we need to do is to raise our level of understanding and knowledge about our health and our bodies so that we can begin to make the necessary changes to start living more effectively. So I want men to know that, number one. And number two, I want them to know that the mental health part is not the old taboos around mental health where you're crazy or you're on drugs is not the concept of mental health. Mental health has to do with violence and the impact of violence that it may have on your body, Emotional trauma, grieving is another issue that has to do with mental health, and stressors. Things that financial stress and all these other issues impact on physical health. And if we ignore that, then we end up with find ourselves in emergency rooms or further down the line in a critical issue.
Right.
And so I want us to begin to go upstream and start dealing with that, and to encourage men to talk more.
All right.
Get in touch with their emotional side, and let it know it's not, it's macho to be expressive. And there's a chemistry associated with tears that men need to embrace. And I'd like to just point out that if I
Forrest,
can.
we only got a little bit of time.
Okay.
We got to go.
Okay.
But Forrest was getting happy, wasn't he? Look, I want everybody to come out to that conference after what Forrest just said in here today. But you know what? For everybody can visit the Urban League's website to find out information and get the conference details.
Absolutely.
And there is a registration and sign-up deadline.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we would like, and quite frankly, you know, we want you to come. We need to have the deadline so that we can anticipate our numbers, but please come on out.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. And Forrest, sorry I had to cut you off because
That's
you
okay.
were certainly powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
I want all the guys to come out. Thank you. And come back again.
We'd love to.
Okay. Next, World AIDS Day after these messages.
We are your Wilmington City Council, and we're also your neighbors. We're asking you to let us know about your community events, achievements, concerns, and issues.
That's why we created a special email address that will connect you to all of us in City Council.
Drop us an email about things going on in your neighborhood with Community Events 22 at wilmingtonde.gov. That's Community Events 22 at wilmingtonde.gov.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
World AIDS Day is an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV. Frank Hawkins is here now with the details for this year's event. Hi, Frank.
Hey, Shannon, how are you?
Don't do that. I know, you gotta love him. How are you, Frank?
I'm doing well, I'm doing good.
Well, I'm glad you could be here today to talk about World AIDS Day.
I'm glad I am here too to talk about World AIDS Day. As you know, World AIDS Day is one of the days that I always say that we have the entire world's attention when it comes to HIV. You know, when you look at social media and things like that, people acknowledge HIV and AIDS that day. They'll put ribbons on their page and what have you, and that's a great thing. Our motto is, though, let's make every day World AIDS Day.
Right.
And it's particularly of importance to AIDS Delaware because one of our endeavors is to keep the message out there about HIV. We want people to still know that HIV is still having a devastating effect on communities. Although we have made great strides with it, we still want people to protect themselves because there is no cure for HIV.
So I ask you this all the time, is Wilmington doing better with the numbers? I mean, I think because it's so small, Wilmington's numbers often seem really high.
Well, once again, as a state, you have to remember when we talk about numbers in relations to the state of Delaware, we have to look at it in relations to the population of Delaware. So Delaware's population is less than 1 million people.
Right.
And for us to have a small population, we have a high incident of HIV/AIDS cases per capita. But we are, to answer your questions, we are doing a lot better with our endeavors to get people tested. We are finding that more and more people are coming in to get tested, to know their status, particularly women.
Right. Women. Now, what's the? That's interesting that you said. I was going to ask you. So, what's the highest population of new infections? Is it older people, younger people, women, or men? Blah 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 blah.
Right now, we're seeing a higher percentage of young African American men who are having sex with men. The age group is primarily in between like that 18 to 25 age group, where we're seeing the numbers rise in it. And then ironically, I was having a discussion with one of my colleagues, and we were talking about how the evolution of HIV, and how back in the 80s there were people who were so passionate about it that they did everything that they could do with the activism of it to get the word out. And today in 2014, we really don't see as much of the activism taking place. And so that leads to the inability of some of these younger men who have sex with men to appreciate the people who paved the way for us to have medication, legislation, and what have you. And so that's why we have to continue to get the word out there, because you have people who hear us say that there are medications being created, there are medications continually in the pipeline. So some people think that that's a license to have unsafe sex. Another population that we see is in women, African American women. We're seeing that number continue to stay in second.
Is that because your partner is on the down low?
Well, I mean, he could be an IV drug user, and you don't know. So there's many variables to it. But again, the message is we encourage people to get tested. So that's why
free testing sites for World AIDS Day.
Exactly.
Okay.
So and I was on World AIDS Day. We have a few things happening. AIDS Delaware is doing a couple of things. One is that we're doing like a silent memorial at First and Central Church on 11th and Market from 11 to 2. And people can go, and there'll be some names shown of people that have passed away as a result of HIV or AIDS, and it's just silent. And so that's the first event on December 1st. Then that evening, we're partnering with Dominion Church on 16th and French to do an event. So what they did for us is they are collecting personal product drives, and they're collecting, toilet paper, what have you, and they're going to give away 50 baskets to some of our clients. So that's going to be December 1st. That's at 6 o'clock in the evening. From 6 to 7, a couple of speakers, and a lot of our clients will be there to receive the items that they have collected for them. And then on December 6th is our big event where we're doing a World AIDS Day Forum. Now that's where we're going to have youth on a panel. We're going to have adults. My good friend Lolisa Gibson is coming back to Delaware, and she's going to talk about having a child who is HIV negative and being married to her husband, and he's also HIV negative. So how does that dynamic happen?
Wow,
and
that's
as usual, it's open to all these events are free and open to the public, but the event on the 6th is a little different in that people are allowed to ask questions of people. So I know that most people will want to know, how was she able to have a baby? She's HIV positive.
I want to know that too.
So yeah, you should come.
That is interesting.
Yeah, we invite you, so you should come.
Your husband is negative and your baby is negative, but you're positive.
How does that happen? How did that happen? And so she's going to answer that question. You have to come, Shannon. I'm not going to answer it right now.
All right.
Okay?
Well,
it's free.
I'm just curious.
So this is one of the events that I'm going to invite you to. That's free.
Do you have to start with that
so,
all
no,
the
we're not
time?
going to go there. So it's about us just doing, it's our obligation as an organization. We have to keep the community informed,
Question, you mentioned something about the church that was going to be giving out the toiletry supplies to your
Dominion Church.
You guys also need supplies, because you give these supplies out to the people that come in to receive your services too, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to donate not only to the church but donate to you.
Oh, they can always bring stuff. The one thing that listen, you never appreciate some things until you don't have it.
Right.
Most of our clients are on public assistance.
Right.
And therefore sometimes they don't have the funds to buy simple things that others may take for granted, like toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, etc. And those are things that you also can't buy.
We gotta go.
Those are also those are also things that you can't buy. You can't just cut me off.
I mean, okay, right.
No, but we need people to bring those items in, you know. And this is
Frank.
You know, this is the
We're
time
done.
of. Oh, okay. That was y'all cheating me.
We're not cheating you. We gotta go, but you're always great, and you can come back
so
anytime.
much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Frank.
I always enjoy coming on the show.
We always enjoy having you.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll be right back with the Governor's Commission on Community and Volunteer Service when we return.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Accidents happen. So do huge medical bills. Find out how to get health insurance coverage by visiting ChooseHealthDE.com.
The Governor's Commission on Community and Volunteer Service is committed to enriching lives and communities by advocating service and volunteerism. Georgiana Windley is here now to tell us all about it, and I wanted to make sure I got Windley.
That's correct.
Windley. I was so busy waiting to get Georgiana right, but I'm just going to call you Gigi from now.
That's fine.
Thank you, Gigi. So let's talk about this. Gigi, yes, that's Gigi. Yes, do you tell them you like to be called Gigi? Thank you, Gigi.
Either way is fine.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Delaware Governor's Commission on Community and Volunteer Service. So I don't know if everybody is fully aware of what it is. You know, do you think people understand what you guys are and what you do in the community?
That's one of our challenges, and thank you for letting us come on and tell you who we are and what we do. The commission is appointed by the governor. He can appoint up to 25 commissioners. And basically what we do is, it's actually quite broad. We have three major tasks, so to say. The first one is to advise the governor on volunteer and community service issues. The second thing is to help on the volunteer side of things, so advocating for volunteers and motivating volunteers, working with the State Office of Volunteerism and advising them. And the third part is community service. And that's a little bit different than volunteerism, in that community service is the AmeriCorps programs and the foster grandparent programs and the retired senior volunteer programs. A lot of the funding for community service comes through the federal government. And so we serve as a commission as the conduit to serve those local nonprofit organizations to not only help them to get that funding, but then to institute it in a most efficient manner.
So Gigi, when you sit down and you meet with the governor, you say, okay, governor, this is what's going on. We're not getting a lot of volunteers in this area. We need more community service over here. Is that kind of what happens? And then, I don't know, do you look at the organization that probably receives the least of both and then you start there? Or does he already have some ideas and ask you all for advice?
Well, really what has happened with Governor Markell is that Governor Markell and Mrs. Markell are our biggest cheerleaders.
Right.
So they're
very active.
They just really lead the charge with this, and so it's more of an advocacy role right now, and we encourage volunteerism. One of the things that is so important is that your viewers understand is that the State Office of Volunteerism, their role is critical.
Right.
And what they do is, to me, it's not a state office that's optional, because what they do is they empower every other nonprofit in the state in a most efficient manner. So for instance, if you wanted to volunteer, we encourage that. You can go to the Volunteer Delaware website and we match you with volunteer opportunities.
Right.
If you are involved with a local nonprofit and you need volunteers, it's almost a matchmaking service there. We can also publicize your event. The State Office of Volunteerism does that quite well.
Is it hard in this day and age with the things that are going on, you know, in our communities across the country to get people to volunteer and, you know, do community service things?
It's amazing how many people just are so giving, and they give their time and they give their talents, and so it's not that hard. I think the harder part is matching the volunteers with the correct service that they would like to give. Some people can give in all different ways. Some people are counselors and mentors, and other people can do administrative work. So we facilitate all different types of volunteer service and work.
How many volunteers and organizations would you say this commission works with?
This commission basically has the potential to touch every volunteer organization within the state.
Wow.
Every 501c3 in the state that works with volunteers, this commission touches.
Now, what are some of the programs that your commission influences?
Well, right now, we are really focused on the AmeriCorps program right now, which is just terrific. And we are working with several AmeriCorps recipient agencies, such as Habitat for Humanity, Teach for America, this Connecting Generations Ministry of Caring, and many more that come in and out of the program. But we are working with AmeriCorps programs. The state office does a lot of training of the volunteers, and as well as the AmeriCorps participants. So AmeriCorps participants are really going to be the future leaders in our communities.
I think so. Yeah. You know, we've had a chance to work with AmeriCorps participants, and I'm gonna tell you, the last young lady that was here was simply incredible.
They really are.
Yeah,
it is just amazing when the AmeriCorps members come in, and we just actually had a big initiation event, and new ones were sworn in. And it's just so exciting to see the enthusiasm, and then they're trained, and then they lead, and then we have AmeriCorps alumni who come out and mentor others. So it's a wonderful program.
Now, on the other side of things, how does somebody get to become a commissioner?
Well, that's a good question. We always are looking for qualified commissioners, and most of our commissioners have had experience dealing with volunteerism. They're highly experienced, and they have worked with 501c3s before, and we need commissioners, so they can go to our website, volunteerdelaware.org, and go on the commissioner page, and there's a link that says apply to be a commissioner. Now, they are appointed, so it's an application process, and it goes through the governor's office. But anyone who's interested, we would love to have more people apply.
Oh, that's great. Now, if someone wants to, or an organization wants to learn about volunteering within the state of Delaware and, you know, the Delaware Office of Volunteerism, what should they do?
Volunteerdelaware.org would be the place to start.
All right.
If they're interested in national service, then it's servedelaware.org.
Thanks, Gigi. It was great having you.
It's great being here, and thank you so much for the opportunity, Shannon.
Oh, anytime. And the next time you come back, if you want to bring a volunteer with you, bring them in.
We'll do that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wilmington Job Corps is next when we return.
I want my ATV.
I want my ATV.
I want my ATV. I want my ATV. I want my ATV.
Now.
I want my ATV.
I want my ATV.
At Wilmington Job Corps Center, success lasts a lifetime. Aisha Word and Danny Gaines are here to tell us about Wilmington Job Corps' new mission statement and how they can help you. And hi, how you doing?
Hi, everybody.
So you have a new mission statement.
Yes, we do have a new mission statement, and we are out to motivate. We're also out to empower, educate young adults ages 16 through 24, and we want them to obtain, maintain, and retain lifelong success.
So why did you guys come up with a new mission statement? Was the old one like, you know, was it just time to
Well,
zhuzh
it
it up?
was,
I don't know.
it was a directive of our center director, Ms. Eva Howell. She wanted us to gather a committee, a new vision committee. And basically, I was a part of the old mission statement committee as well. And we had constructed that in 2010. And Ms. Howell felt like, 4 years was long enough to have that mission statement, and she just wanted a fresh, new vision.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great reason. Can I tell you something? I've met several of the folks that attend Job Corps, and the one that sticks out the most to me is the cupcake lady. I don't remember her name. Do you guys remember she bought the cupcakes in here? Her freaking cupcakes were so good. Yeah, you have to ask Rhonda who she was.
Probably Miss Nurse Langford.
Oh my God! Did you eat one of the cupcakes?
She makes excellent cupcakes.
You need to get one, but they were good. I mean, she even made one like it had bacon on it, and I took that one.
I had no idea, but I'll be sure to go back today and make sure I find out who the cupcake lady is.
Yes,
okay?
yes. And I say that because I want people to know that I think that maybe people don't understand that there are a variety of people that come out of Job Corps and go on to do great things, whether it's opening their business or working for someone, you know what I mean? But so it is literally people that run the gamut.
Right.
And they received this training all from Job Corps. And these are people that probably could have fallen through the cracks, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great program. I'm one of the admissions and outreach counselors, and I'm the first person that the students come in and see, and they tell me their background, where they're coming from, from all of Delaware, and you see where they're coming from, their household environment, what type of education that they've had before,
right?
And Job Corps, a lot of them say, this is the last resort for me,
right.
And it is very rewarding to know that this is a program out there for young people to get back on their feet. They have to come willing and ready for this, and most of them are. And you just see the backgrounds, but you also see their goals that they have, their dream jobs that they have. We always share with them, you can reach these. Your dream job is very attainable, and this is where you start. This is your stepping stone. So it's definitely a great program for those who are willing and ready to change their lives, so they won't fall through the cracks, because they know that they will if they don't get the education that they need.
And how does that make you feel when somebody comes in there and says, like, this is literally like the last step, like this is it. So if I don't get it right here.
Well, it gives us a great sense of responsibility, and we don't take it lightly. The trainees, the active students that are part of our center right now, we empower them. We give them the tools that they need in order to be successful, not only on center, but we constantly expound and reiterate to them that they need to really pay attention and use these tools, you'll be able to use them outside of the center, because let's face it, the job market is tough out there, and they're in competition with a lot of quality A people coming from different sectors. And so we tell them, hey, this is all about you. It's about you making the decision that you want to upgrade your quality of life.
That is a good point. That is a great point. So what's the potential candidate for Job Corps? So when you come there, what have you been through and where are you at right now? And then how do you get in there?
Okay. Well, Job Corps offers the opportunity for individuals to earn their high school diploma and also a trade. So when students come in, sometimes they have graduated high school successfully, and they want to come in and say, hey, you know what, I'm ready to learn a trade. College did not work out for me. Whether it be it's not for me, or they around here they didn't have the major that I wanted, or financial reasons. So they come in and they're saying, this is what I want to do. So what we do is we sit down and map out their plan. Is this program good for you? Because Job Corps is not for everybody, just like any program.
Right.
So we sit down and map out what are their goals in life, and how does Job Corps fit in, and how can it benefit them. So we sit down and look at that. We look at all the different trades, because we do offer at the Wilmington Job Corps Center, we offer 4 trades.
Okay.
We offer the CNA program, the culinary arts program, office administration, and facilities maintenance. So if this is one of the trades that they want to go into, we sit down and say, okay, let's talk about this. Now tell me, if you want to work on this trade and earn certifications, what kind of job are you looking for when you graduate? We don't want to waste anybody's time, definitely not yours, young person, and so we're trying to see and trying to map out a plan for them for success. So they come in and just say, we find out if it's for them or it's not for them.
And I would just like to add, Aisha, that we do offer opportunity. We tell them it's at no cost to you financially. It just costs your time and dedication and effort and determination. But we do let them know that they not all are ready for college, but we do have a program that's available for them, where they could take the ACT test, they could take the SAT, and some of them do choose to go on to college, as well as go into the military.
Way to go, Job Corps. So if anybody wants to find out about Job Corps programs and trying to get into the program, what should they do?
Okay. The first step is to come to our information session that we have every Monday night at 5 p.m. When you come to this information session, we will give you information about our program at the 9 Vanderbilt Avenue location, but also residential centers as well. I do want to mention that we do, for students that may want to get out of state, which I always think is good for young people,
Yes,
get out while you can, and for free.
Yeah,
so,
right. That's even better.
So they can come and just get information about the program as a whole, our Wilmington Job Corps Center, and also our residential centers. And sometimes at night, students are saying, this is not for me, and that's okay. We just want to give you the information so you can make a sound decision if this is for you or not. And after that, we'll get you an admissions counselor, get you started with the admissions process, which is our application and our interview.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you both could come. And I'm sure you'll be back again, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Do have one last thing to just share with the audience, if you don't mind. Just want to remember, Wilmington Job Corps Center, be motivated, be empowered, be educated, because it's very important that you retain, obtain, and maintain lifelong success.
That's right.
Wow, what a great pitch, right? I felt like I was watching like this big, production, right? Infomercial.
Really?
Right. That was good. That was good. All right, so we'll see you guys again, right?
Yes,
all right.
absolutely.
Next up, Queen Theater after these messages.
Child support clients, do you want your money faster? Sign up today to receive your funds electronically by either direct deposit into an existing checking or savings account, or the new First Aid Family Card, a prepaid MasterCard account that is credited whenever a payment is made into your child support case. For more information, visit us online at www.dhss.delaware.gov/DCSE. Or you can reach us on the phone in Newcastle County by calling 577-7171, in Kent County 739-8299, or in Sussex County 856-5386. Thank you.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Up, you did. The Light of the Queen Foundation is dedicated to the revival of the Queen Theater in Wilmington and ensuring that the Queen becomes a catalyst for building high-quality programs in music, arts education, workforce development, and mentoring.
Well, that sounds really familiar.
You sent it to me. Tina Betts is here. Hi, Tina.
Hi, good to be back.
And listen, I miss you. How you doing?
Thank you, doing really, really well. Thank you, just coming off of some R&R and ready to hit the ground, you know?
Yay.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been busy at the Queen. And, you know, I think I really like all the programs that are geared towards exposing kids to the arts. And you guys are definitely on that.
Well, that's what the Light Up the Queen Foundation is all about. I mean, the philosophy is we do pre-K to about 5th grade. I mean, some of our programming can go beyond that into even for adults, our film series, for example. But we really focus on pre-K to 5th grade because one of the things that we know is once a child is exposed to the arts, especially over and over again, then the more opportunities they see available to them to take it further, to go to continue their studies at places like the Christina Cultural Arts Center, the Music School of Delaware, places where they can continue and really get into making something their own.
Are these kids, when they come, do you think that, and I know I asked these questions because I just want people to understand that, do you think this is their first theater experience when they come to places like the Queen?
Yeah, for many of them it is.
Right.
And that's exactly the reason we exist, because we know that sometimes a lot of young people don't have the opportunities to engage in the arts. I mean, I remember being in 3rd grade and our music teacher coming in and giving us an opportunity to go and take music lessons, instrument lessons, and getting my first viola, and how life-changing that was. And for a lot of these kids, you're seeing some of our kids now in the photos that you're showing who attend.
And they look really happy.
They're very, very happy.
They
I mean,
look
these,
really
you know,
happy.
we didn't ask them to stand up, jump, and look excited and smile.
Right.
These are candid shots
Right.
of kids who are, you know, taking away something that we know is very, very special
You
through the
even
arts.
had the guy there that makes the sounds with all the
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, you remember Alex
Yes,
Shaw,
yeah. So
who was on here? Yeah,
I know they were amazed.
Just amazed. Alex is part of the Live Connection Bridge Sessions that we're continuing to do. We've done them, this is our 4th year doing Bridge Sessions. One of the things we're also doing this year, Shannon, is we're adding programs. For example, we have something called Peanut Butter and Jam, our concert series that we do in conjunction with World Cafe Live. And we offer that free to schools to bring kids. We've done our first 3 this year. We had about 200, 220, 230 kids at each of those sessions come out to do these peanut butter and jam concerts.
So are these schools that are coming?
Mostly schools for what we do during the week.
Okay.
We also offer opportunities for youth service organizations to contact us about scholarships to come for Saturday peanut butter and jam concerts that World Cafe Live does. And if they call the Queen, the Light of the Queen Foundation, ask for Judy Hickman or me, we can give them more information about our scholarship programs.
Now, what if I'm just a parent and I just want to bring my kid? Can I do that too?
You certainly can.
Okay.
I mean, and it's best to give us a call. I mean, if you have a child that you're homeschooling, or a child who hasn't started school, so they're home with you, or for whatever reason, and you see that there's a program happening on a day that you and your child are available, absolutely give us a call. We can always fit in as many children as the space will hold.
That is really great.
Yeah.
So tell us what else has been going on over at the Queen World Cafe Live.
Well, World Cafe Live, of course, is doing its thing, bringing live music to 5th and Market Street. Hal Real and his team down there do an absolutely wonderful job. And we're really lucky to be able to work with them. For example, on the Peanut Butter and Jam concert series, they do that on Saturdays. We do it on a Friday for school kids. And so we link that up together. So not only are they doing live music, you know, all of the things that we know about, Anna DeFranco, for example, and folks like that coming in the evening to do concerts. They also work with the Light Up the Queen Foundation to help us to nourish our young children around here with the arts.
Now, since the Queen's big revival, you know, I mean, because it was a long time, you know, to get the building back up to its glory and everything.
18 months, which is, you know, in the scheme of things, when people who remember that building the way it was, I mean, to think that it only took 18 months for the Buccini Polling Group and the Light Up the Queen Foundation board to raise the money. Buccini Polling Group came in as developers. World Cafe Live opened their second place, you know, Philadelphia, and then Wilmington. 18 months from what was just a crumbling building into something that is, you know, makes a real statement in downtown Wilmington. And then for the Light Up the Queen Foundation to also continue the revival by offering the arts education programs that we do for kids.
Is there more to do to develop the theater?
Your question again?
Really, Tina? That's what Dave typed up.
Is there more to do to develop theater?
I get to finish. So I guess what it probably is. So what else will the Queen add on? So you got World Cafe Live. You do a lot of programs with kids.
We do a lot of programs with kids. We'll continue doing that. We also do a film series in partnership.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
And
we gotta go.
Oh, you've got to go. Oh, we've got to go now.
No, wait a minute. Let's
go
talk about the film series.
It's a film series, Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation. It's called On Screen in Person. The film director, producer tour the Mid-Atlantic with their films. We are one of the host sites for that.
Really? I didn't know that.
Go onto the Light Up the Queen Foundation website. Everybody, you and everybody who's watching, find out all the wonderful things we're doing, or give us a call there. Call Judy or me, and we'll tell you about all of the things that we're doing.
No, that question left you out there. You were like, what?
Yeah, right.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then you threw it back
at me.
I
don't even understand the question.
Listen,
let alone find an answer for it.
Usually you judge around it. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know.
So if anybody wants to call, visit the Queen, visit your website, and they can also call for peanut butter and jam sessions,
Absolutely. Right? Please, work through youth organizations. Call, talk to us about scholarships that we have for the Saturday peanut butter and jam concerts and all the other good stuff we're doing.
All right. Thank you, beautiful. It's always a pleasure having you on here.
Love being here.
All right. For everybody here at WITN Channel 22, I'm Shannan Harris. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.